Most people drift through life like a ship without a compass, pulled by distractions, ruled by habits, and guided by nothing more than convenience. But those who master the art of focus and discipline become captains of their own destiny. Good evening, my friends. This is Earl Nightingale, and tonight I'd like to talk to you about two of the most powerful forces in shaping a successful life: focus and discipline. You see, the world is full of noise. Our days are filled with interruptions, distractions, and endless calls for our attention. And yet, in every generation, there are a few remarkable men and women who seem to rise above the clutter. They move with purpose. They think clearly. They act decisively. These are the individuals who have learned the quiet secret of greatness. A focused mind, guided by disciplined action, can achieve anything. Focus begins with intention. You must know where you're going before you can give your full energy to the journey. A man without a goal is like a ship without a rudder. He may drift, but he will never arrive. So the first step is simple but essential. Decide what you truly want. Not what others expect of you, not what seems convenient, but what ignites your inner fire. Write it down, make it clear. Keep it before you every day. Once you know your destination, discipline becomes your compass. It's the steady force that keeps you on course when distractions try to pull you away. Discipline isn't punishment. It's the practice of choosing what matters most over what tempts you now. It's saying no to the lesser so you can say yes to the greater. Begin with the small things. Keep your word. Finish what you start. Wake up when you say you will. These quiet acts of control build strength of character. And over time, that strength becomes unshakable. Focus and discipline are not gifts reserved for the few. They are muscles of the mind, available to all who will train them. Every day offers a chance to practice to pause before reacting, to direct your attention to one thing, to follow through even when the excitement fades. The truth is, success rarely comes from talent alone. It comes from the calm persistence of a focused individual who simply refuses to quit. Remember, the most ordinary person, disciplined and directed, will outpace the genius who scatters his efforts. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your focus. What you direct your attention toward determines the texture of your days, the depth of your growth, and the clarity of your purpose. Focus is not simply about concentration. It is the silent architect of your destiny. Every thought you entertain, every moment you invest, and every habit you nurture stems from where your focus rests. When your mind is scattered, life feels fragmented. When your energy is divided among trivial pursuits, fulfillment becomes elusive. But when your attention is unified behind a meaningful pursuit, you begin to experience the profound order that only clarity can create. Most people live in constant reaction, pulled by distractions, chained by urgency, and ruled by noise. They move fast but accomplish little because their energy is diluted. A focused person, however, walks with purpose. They understand that time is not the problem, direction is. They refuse to let their attention be stolen by things that do not matter. Focus transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement because it channels the full power of the mind toward a single point of creation. The difference between success and frustration often lies not in intelligence, but in the ability to hold one's gaze steady upon what truly counts. Every great accomplishment in history was born from this principle. Artists, inventors, thinkers, and leaders who changed the course of civilization did so by guarding their mental energy. They learned to close the door on distractions and open the window to their vision. They understood that progress does not happen through scattered motion, but through sustained attention. Focus brings simplicity to a complicated world. It allows you to separate the essential from the unnecessary, to replace confusion with calm, and to turn chaos into order. To cultivate focus, you must first decide what deserves your attention. You cannot aim at everything and expect to hit something. Choose one meaningful objective and give it your full commitment. Each day, return your thoughts to that goal. Let it guide your decisions, shape your habits, and define your priorities. The more you practice this discipline, the stronger your focus becomes. You will find that distractions lose their grip, procrastination weakens, and your sense of control deepens. A clear focus sharpens perception. You begin to notice opportunities others overlook. You respond with intention rather than impulse. The quality of your experiences improves because you are fully present, not drifting through life half-aware. Even challenges become manageable because a focused mind sees solutions where others see problems. When your attention is directed toward growth, your actions naturally align with progress. The truth is, your focus determines your reality. Whatever you give mental energy to expands within your life. Concentrate on growth, and you evolve. Dwell on limitations, and they multiply. Mastering focus is mastering life itself, for it dictates not only what you see but also who you become. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. Every dream begins as a spark within the heart, a vision of what could be. Yet between the thought and its realization lies a long stretch of action, effort, and endurance. Discipline is the force that carries you across that distance. It transforms intention into reality, ambition into accomplishment, and hope into certainty. Without it, even the most beautiful vision remains suspended in imagination. With it, impossible goals turn into daily progress. Desire provides the fire, but discipline directs the flame. Passion can start the journey, but only persistence sustains it when enthusiasm fades. It is easy to feel motivated when excitement is high, yet true progress demands consistency when the thrill is gone. Discipline shows up when feelings don't. It works when no one is watching, building strength in quiet moments of choice. Every act of self-control, every task completed despite resistance, every sacrifice made for a greater purpose becomes a step toward mastery. The disciplined individual understands that success is not about intensity, but about consistency. They repeat small, deliberate actions until excellence becomes habit. They resist shortcuts, knowing that every corner cut today weakens the foundation for tomorrow. Each time they keep a promise to themselves, their inner confidence grows. That steady reliability creates an unbreakable character, one that can weather failure, distraction, and fatigue. Discipline is not harshness, it is alignment. It brings your behavior in harmony with your goals, ensuring that your energy serves your higher aim rather than fleeting impulse. Those who lack discipline often live in cycles of regret, wanting change but never committing long enough to create it. They confuse desire for progress and mistake effort for effectiveness. But the disciplined mind knows that results demand order. It creates structure where others seek comfort. It sets routines that channel willpower efficiently, turning potential into performance. Through repetition and restraint, it shapes habits that eventually move automatically toward success. Discipline is freedom disguised as restriction. It frees you from the tyranny of moods, from the trap of indecision, from the drift of wasted days. It gives control over time, direction over desire, and power over distraction. It transforms chaos into rhythm and hesitation into momentum. While others wait for inspiration, the disciplined act and find inspiration through action. Every great legacy, whether built in art, science, business, or personal growth, rests on this timeless principle. Behind every remarkable life stands an ordinary person who learned to follow through. Discipline is the quiet strength that keeps the dream alive when excitement has died and the road ahead feels endless. It does not seek praise or reward, it simply persists. It is the invisible bridge that turns vision into substance, effort into excellence, and longing into fulfillment. Distraction is the enemy of progress, awareness is the antidote. Every moment you surrender to distraction, you trade focus for fragmentation and momentum for confusion. The modern world tempts the mind with constant noise, messages, notifications, endless streams of stimulation that pull attention in every direction. Progress demands direction, but distraction scatters it. Nothing destroys potential faster than a divided mind chasing too many things at once. Awareness, on the other hand, restores clarity. It brings you back to the present, where real creation happens and where power resides. A distracted person lives in fragments, always reacting, rarely creating. Their thoughts leap from one task to another, never settling long enough to build something meaningful. Distraction whispers that everything is urgent, keeping the mind in motion but the soul standing still. It drains energy by scattering attention across trivial pursuits. True achievement cannot grow in that soil. Progress requires depth, patience, and the ability to stay centered on what truly matters. Awareness cuts through the noise and reminds you of your priorities. It reclaims your attention from the chaos and places it back under your control. Awareness is the art of noticing, of seeing when your mind drifts, of catching yourself before habits steal your time. It is not resistance but observation. The moment you become aware of distraction, its power weakens. You are no longer lost in thought, you are the one watching it. That recognition gives you freedom to choose again, to return to your purpose. Awareness creates space between impulse and response, allowing wisdom to replace reaction. In that space, progress begins. When awareness guides focus, time slows and quality rises, work deepens, creativity flourishes. Energy stops leaking into meaningless movement and starts fueling deliberate action. Awareness trains you to be fully present in each task, to feel the texture of effort, to hear your own thoughts clearly. It becomes a quiet discipline, a steady practice of returning over and over to the moment at hand. Through repetition, awareness grows stronger and distraction loses its grip. The greatest achievers are not those with endless hours, but those who master their attention. They move through distractions without becoming entangled. They understand that awareness is not built once but cultivated daily. Every time you bring your mind back from wandering, you strengthen your ability to remain centered. Each conscious return builds resilience. Awareness turns ordinary work into mindful creation, transforming routine into mastery. Distraction thrives where awareness is absent. But once awareness awakens, even chaos cannot pull you away from purpose. The mind trained in attention becomes a tool of precision. It directs energy like a laser, cutting through confusion and shaping progress with deliberate intent. Awareness turns noise into silence, motion into meaning, and distraction into discipline. Focus grows stronger with repetition. Train it daily. Concentration is not a talent bestowed upon a few, but a discipline built through consistent effort. Just as the body gains strength through exercise, the mind develops endurance through repeated practice. Each time you bring your attention back to a single purpose, you strengthen the invisible muscle that directs thought, decision, and action. The ability to hold focus is not achieved in bursts of intensity but through quiet persistence. Every moment spent reclaiming attention from distraction becomes a silent victory, each one adding a layer of stability to your inner foundation. The mind naturally seeks novelty, drifting from one stimulus to another, but mastery begins when you choose to stay present despite the pull of the external world. Repetition transforms restlessness into steadiness. It trains the brain to resist temptation, to delay gratification, and to dwell in the process rather than the result. The simple act of returning your awareness to a task, again and again, forms the groundwork for concentration that endures under pressure. Through steady effort, focus becomes less of a struggle and more of a natural state, a rhythm that flows effortlessly from your commitment. Small acts of focus accumulate power. Reading with attention, listening without interruption, completing a single task with care. These simple habits refine mental control. They create order within the mind, allowing clarity to replace chaos. Each repetition carves a deeper path of awareness, teaching the mind that purpose outweighs impulse. With time, distractions lose their charm, and your ability to remain absorbed grows. Training focus is an inward discipline. It requires patience, humility, and self-awareness. It is a daily renewal of intention, an ongoing dialogue between will and wandering thought. Those who achieve mastery in any field share one common thread: they have trained their focus relentlessly. Musicians who practice scales, athletes who perfect movement, writers who return to the blank page, all are strengthening the same faculty. Repetition refines skill and reveals depth. It draws out understanding that surface attention never touches. Focus becomes sharper not by avoiding challenges, but by facing them with unwavering attention until the mind adapts and learns to remain centered. In an age filled with endless distractions, training focus is both a rebellion and a necessity. The world rewards those who can stay still amidst noise, those who can give complete presence to the moment before them. Each day offers countless chances to practice, whether in conversation, study, or solitude. Every deliberate act of focus polishes awareness and deepens mastery. Over time, repetition transforms scattered energy into directed force, converting fleeting intention into sustained achievement. The more you train your focus, the stronger your control over your thoughts becomes, and the clearer your path toward purpose unfolds. A man who controls his attention controls his future. The direction of thought shapes the direction of life. Attention is the mind's most valuable currency, yet most spend it carelessly on distraction, comparison, and noise. The power to guide one's attention is the power to design one's destiny. Every accomplishment, invention, and transformation began with the ability to hold the mind steady on a single vision. When attention drifts, energy scatters. When attention is commanded, creation follows. The one who can choose where to place awareness possesses authority over circumstance, for the outer world bends to the inner state of focus. Attention is the steering wheel of the mind. Wherever it turns, energy flows, and whatever it rests upon expands. People often chase opportunities without realizing that mastery begins within. The disciplined individual learns to withdraw awareness from trivialities and direct it toward purpose. They guard mental energy as carefully as a treasure, understanding that scattered focus is wasted potential. By controlling attention, one gains mastery over reaction, emotion, and direction. Such command transforms confusion into clarity and hesitation into momentum. Every moment demands a choice, to drift aimlessly or to remain anchored in intent. Controlling attention means deciding which thoughts to entertain and which to release. It is the art of selecting influence rather than being ruled by it. Each time you reclaim awareness from distraction, you strengthen inner authority. Over time, this practice becomes instinctive. Life no longer feels accidental because your thoughts no longer wander without permission. You begin to notice opportunities hidden in plain sight, to recognize patterns others overlook, to move deliberately through situations that cause others to stumble. Attention governs perception. What you focus on shapes your emotional state, and that state drives action. The person who can center attention in constructive thought cultivates peace even amid challenge. They no longer react blindly to every disturbance but choose calmness as a response. This composure becomes a magnetic force, drawing order and progress into existence. With sustained attention, goals cease to be distant possibilities and become unfolding realities. Training attention requires discipline and awareness. It means catching yourself when your thoughts drift toward negativity or fear and gently guiding them back to vision and purpose. It involves being present with what you are doing, listening fully, working completely, thinking deeply. The more consistently you practice, the more naturally your attention aligns with what truly matters. Mastery of focus builds resilience, sharpens perception, and amplifies creativity. The future is shaped by what occupies the mind today. Every innovation, every achievement, every turning point begins in thought. When you control attention, you choose what seeds to water. You decide what grows within consciousness. The man who commands his attention directs his energy, his choices, and ultimately his destiny. Small, consistent actions outlast bursts of unsteady effort. Progress rarely comes from a single dramatic push. It is born from steady persistence practiced in quiet moments. The power of repetition builds momentum that sudden enthusiasm can never sustain. Grand beginnings often fade because they rely on emotion, but consistency endures because it relies on discipline. Every small act repeated with purpose compounds over time, turning invisible effort into visible transformation. The individual who shows up each day, even with modest steps, surpasses the one who moves intensely for a moment and then stops. Consistency is the rhythm of achievement. It transforms ordinary behavior into lasting results. Each time you repeat a productive act, you reinforce belief, strengthen ability, and expand endurance. The world often glorifies rapid success, yet the truth remains unchanged. Lasting greatness grows slowly. Those who commit to daily progress understand that mastery is not measured by how fast one begins, but by how long one continues. Repetition forms habits, and habits create identity. The consistent person no longer struggles to act. Their behavior becomes automatic, powered by commitment rather than motivation. Small actions are deceptive because they appear insignificant. Writing one page, reading a few lines, practicing a single movement may seem trivial, but these moments accumulate silently. Each repetition lays a brick in the foundation of excellence. Over weeks and months, these efforts multiply into something remarkable. The secret is not in intensity but in longevity. When effort becomes routine, improvement becomes inevitable. Unsteady bursts, no matter how passionate, collapse under inconsistency because they lack the structure to endure difficulty. Consistency teaches patience. It humbles the restless spirit that seeks quick reward and replaces it with calm persistence. The one who embraces the process learns that progress is not always visible but always occurring. The smallest daily effort maintains momentum when inspiration fades. Those who trust this truth continue moving forward, building strength through practice and faith through perseverance. They understand that reliability is a form of power, for dependability produces outcomes where unpredictability fails. Every great achievement is built upon the discipline of repetition. Athletes perfect movements through countless drills. Musicians master instruments by practicing notes until they become extensions of the soul. Entrepreneurs create success by performing daily routines that build businesses brick by brick. Their journeys reveal a timeless principle. Doing something small every day creates far greater impact than doing something huge once in a while. Consistency turns effort into habit and habit into excellence. It transforms effort into a lifestyle rather than a phase. When you act with steadiness, progress becomes a natural consequence. The accumulation of these seemingly minor deeds reshapes destiny. In time, what once felt insignificant reveals its power. The quiet persistence that endures beyond fleeting bursts and leaves behind the enduring mark of unwavering dedication. Purpose gives focus direction, discipline keeps it alive. Without a clear sense of purpose, even the sharpest focus drifts aimlessly, and without discipline, even the most inspired purpose fades into wishful thinking. Purpose provides the reason to begin, the why that ignites action. It transforms ordinary effort into meaningful pursuit, giving every step a destination. Focus channels energy toward that destination, ensuring attention does not scatter. But discipline sustains the journey when the fire of motivation dims, when fatigue sets in, and when progress feels distant. Together, purpose, focus, and discipline form the triad upon which achievement stands. Purpose acts as the compass of the soul. It points the mind toward a direction that aligns with inner values. Once it is defined, focus becomes the lens through which energy is magnified. Yet, even with a compelling vision, distraction and difficulty will test conviction. That is where discipline steps in. not as a harsh master but as a loyal guardian of intent. It turns commitment into habit and habit into strength. When enthusiasm wavers, discipline quietly carries the work forward. It transforms fleeting inspiration into daily movement. Focus without purpose becomes mechanical, and purpose without discipline becomes empty. The union of all three creates unstoppable momentum. Purpose gives meaning, focus gives clarity, and discipline gives endurance. Every day offers moments that test this balance. There will be temptations to drift, to rest, to delay. Discipline reminds you of the promise you made to yourself. It demands consistency when comfort whispers surrender. Purpose gives that consistency meaning, ensuring each act contributes to something greater than the immediate moment. Those who align their purpose with disciplined focus create results that endure. They move not by impulse but by intention. They plan their actions, guard their time, and follow through even when progress feels slow. The strength of their results lies in the steadiness of their attention. They understand that purpose without persistence is only potential energy waiting for release. It is discipline that turns the potential into power, transforming vision into tangible creation. Discipline gives structure to dreams. It organizes chaos into order and transforms vague aspirations into achievable steps. It brings reliability to passion, ensuring that purpose does not remain an abstract idea but a lived experience. Through steady application, each disciplined act becomes a brick laid in the foundation of fulfillment. When purpose drives action and discipline sustains it, success becomes a natural outcome. Every task, no matter how small, aligns with something larger. Every repetition strengthens the bond between intention and execution. The individual who lives this principle walks with direction, acts with clarity, and continues with unwavering resolve. Purpose gives focus meaning, but it is discipline that ensures it endures through time, transforming vision into an enduring legacy. Time wasted on trivialities steals life's richest rewards. Every moment spent on meaningless distraction is a piece of life exchanged for nothing of value. Time is the only resource that cannot be replenished, yet it is the one most often squandered. People guard possessions fiercely but treat their hours carelessly, forgetting that minutes are the true currency of existence. Greatness is not built through constant business but through wise use of attention. When time is directed toward what truly matters, life expands with depth and fulfillment. When it is scattered on superficial pursuits, purpose fades and potential quietly decays. Trivialities disguise themselves as urgency, messages, gossip, entertainment, endless scrolling through noise that offers no nourishment to the mind. Each moment given to these distractions weakens focus and drains energy needed for creation. The tragedy is not that people lack time, but that they spend it without intention. Time flows toward what is prioritized. To waste it on emptiness is to trade greatness for comfort, meaning for amusement, growth for convenience. Every hour misused could have been an investment in learning, reflection, or contribution. Those who achieve lasting impact understand the sacred nature of time. They measure their days not by how much they do, but by how much of what they do matters. They refuse to surrender attention to the insignificant. Instead, they design their hours around purpose. Each task serves a higher aim. Their schedules reflect clarity, not clutter. By eliminating what adds no value, they multiply the impact of what remains. They know that every choice to say yes to something trivial is a no to something meaningful. Time wasted cannot be reclaimed, but awareness can prevent future loss. It begins with recognizing the difference between activity and progress. Many are busy but not effective, moving constantly without moving forward. Time is not filled, it is used. Each decision either enriches or empties it. Directing hours toward improvement, service, and creativity transforms ordinary existence into mastery. The mind grows sharper, spirit stronger, and results more significant. A life of meaning is not created by doing more, but by doing what counts. Guarding time requires courage. To decline distractions, to step away from comfort, to face solitude where reflection happens. Silence often yields insight, while noise breeds confusion. Protecting one's time is not selfish, it is the highest respect for one's purpose. Through wise attention, every hour becomes an instrument of growth, every day a step toward fulfillment. When the mind learns to value time as the essence of opportunity, choices shift. Distractions lose their lure, and the desire to live deliberately replaces the habit of drifting. The individual who spends time with intention builds a life of depth and contribution. Life's richest rewards, peace, mastery, purpose, belong to those who honor their time as the foundation of everything they wish to become. Self-control is the first victory in every great success story. Before any external achievement can be realized, mastery must begin within. Every breakthrough, every triumph, every rise to excellence starts with the ability to govern impulses, direct emotion, and act with intention rather than reaction. The strongest foundation for success is not talent, fortune, or opportunity. It is discipline of the self. The individual who conquers inner weakness gains command over decision, focus, and direction. Without control, energy scatters. With it, purpose strengthens. Self-control is the quiet strength that shapes character. It is the difference between fleeting enthusiasm and lasting progress. The person who learns to pause before reacting, to choose patience over impulse, builds power that cannot be shaken by circumstance. True control is not suppression, it is guidance. It channels passion into productive motion, anger into determination, and temptation into perseverance. Every act of restraint refines willpower. Each moment of composure fortifies resolve. Greatness requires more than ambition. It demands the steady courage to stay aligned when emotion and desire pull in different directions. History remembers those who ruled themselves before they led others. Visionaries, inventors, and thinkers who left lasting impact all shared this trait. They mastered their reactions, controlled their time, and disciplined their habits. Self-control grants freedom from the chaos of inconsistency. It allows the mind to remain calm amid noise, to think clearly under pressure, to act with reason rather than impulse. When emotions govern choices, regret follows. When self-mastery governs action, progress becomes inevitable. This power grows through awareness. Recognizing temptation is the first step toward overcoming it. Each decision to delay gratification, each refusal to give in to weakness, strengthens the mental muscle that guards purpose. It is not built in a single act of will, but through repetition, choosing focus over distraction, patience over frustration, and persistence over surrender. With each victory, confidence deepens, and the ability to lead oneself becomes unshakable. Those who lack control may start quickly but falter soon, for impulse consumes energy faster than purpose can replenish it. Self-discipline, on the other hand, conserves strength, directing it where it truly matters. It teaches balance between emotion and reason, ambition and restraint. This harmony produces clarity, and clarity creates momentum. Success without self-control is unstable. It may rise briefly, but it cannot last. The truly powerful remain steady regardless of praise or challenge, because their strength comes from within. Their choices are deliberate, their reactions measured, their direction unwavering. They know that mastery over the self is the only victory that guarantees all others. The conquest of the inner world precedes every triumph in the outer one, for once a person learns to rule their own mind, nothing beyond it can stand in their way. True freedom is found not in ease, but in disciplined effort. The pursuit of comfort often promises liberation, yet it quietly breeds dependence and weakness. Ease dulls the edge of ambition and numbs the desire for growth, while discipline awakens strength, clarity, and control. Freedom is not the absence of effort, it is the mastery that comes through commitment. When a person learns to govern their habits, they no longer serve impulse, they command it. The individual who disciplines thought and action earns a kind of independence that no circumstance can take away. Discipline transforms effort into empowerment. It teaches that genuine liberty is not doing whatever feels pleasant, but doing what must be done regardless of feeling. The freedom born from discipline is lasting because it is earned. Those who rely on comfort are bound by it, but those who train themselves to act with purpose become limitless. Each act of discipline breaks the chains of laziness, fear, and indecision. It sharpens awareness, strengthens will, and deepens self-respect. The more one practices structured effort, the more confidence grows. Not the false confidence of ease, but the quiet assurance that comes from consistency. Effort guided by discipline creates order where chaos once ruled. It transforms idle time into opportunity and scattered energy into direction. Through steady exertion, character forms. The mind learns to focus, the heart learns endurance, and the body learns persistence. The disciplined person may appear restrained, but in truth, they experience greater freedom than the one ruled by impulse. They are free from the control of distraction, free from the sway of emotion, free from the burden of regret that follows avoidance. Discipline becomes the doorway to peace because it replaces guilt with growth and aimlessness with meaning. Ease invites stagnation, but effort refines purpose. Those who seek only comfort lose the strength to pursue something higher. Growth demands resistance. Without challenge, no muscle, physical or mental, can develop. Every deliberate act of effort, no matter how small, expands the limits of possibility. Discipline transforms the difficult into the doable. Over time, what once felt heavy becomes second nature, and the individual discovers that the very struggle they resisted was shaping their freedom. Freedom earned through effort is the ability to live deliberately. It is the control to rise early when others sleep, to persist when the crowd quits, to stay calm when conditions turn hard. Each disciplined decision reinforces independence from weakness. It proves that liberty is not about escaping structure but creating it consciously. A disciplined life is not confined, it is empowered. Through committed effort, every limitation weakens, and every dream draws nearer. True freedom belongs to the one who works with intention, not to the one who drifts in ease, for discipline grants the rare strength to act, build, and become without restraint. In the end, the path to mastery, fulfillment, and freedom is not paved with luck or ease, but with focused purpose and unwavering discipline. Every great transformation begins within. The moment you choose awareness over distraction, action over hesitation, and consistency over comfort, the mind trained to stay directed becomes a force capable of shaping any destiny. Small, deliberate steps taken each day compound into extraordinary results, while careless moments spent on trivialities steal the brilliance of what could have been. True success is not found in grand gestures, but in the quiet power of daily control over thought, time, and behavior. When purpose fuels your focus and discipline sustains your movement, you no longer chase life, you create it. The bridge between who you are and who you can become is built through self-mastery. Freedom, peace, and success belong not to those who wait for inspiration, but to those who live with intention and act with discipline until their vision becomes reality. So, my friend, as you step into tomorrow, take this thought with you. What you consistently focus on, you inevitably become. Guard your attention as you would guard your most precious possession, because it is. Now, make a quiet promise to yourself. Choose one goal that matters deeply. For the next 30 days, give it your complete focus. Shut out distractions. Work on it every day without fail, and watch what happens. Because when focus meets discipline, transformation begins. This is Earl Nightingale, reminding you that the mind, once disciplined toward a worthy aim, becomes the architect of its own fortune. Go and begin today.